Eve. It's 5 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock right now. We've already warmed up to 81 degrees. It's going to be a toasty one out there today. And speaking of hot, this morning on KRIM's Community Spotlight, we've got some interesting information from the folks over at the Humane Society of Central Arizona. And so many different directions we can go with this. Anyway, we have Annie and Lucy here from the Humane Society, not only from the Humane Society proper, but also the resale store where you raise a whole bunch of money to take care of all these fun critters. How are you both doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
No one's told me yet today, but so far I think I'm doing all right.
I'm wonderful.
That's what I've heard. Anyway, so all kidding aside, they've been keeping you busy, no doubt. Now, is there an uptick in activity at the Humane Society this time of year?
Yes, kittens.
Kittens. Okay.
Kittens everywhere.
Oh boy. And so people bringing litters into you, or just individual kittens, or?
Yes, on a good day we'll probably get 2 cardboard boxes full of kittens, and on a bad day it's like 5 cardboard boxes full of kittens.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So trying to get that all adopted out has got to be a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's just a process too, because a lot of people are bringing them in. Obviously they see a litter kitten somewhere, maybe under a house, in a barn, out in a field, someplace protected, obviously, because the mothers, they're very smart. They leave them in a place where they have shade, usually, and then a place that's safe as well. In a place that doesn't have a food source very close to it, because obviously a food source brings in coyotes and foxes and raccoons and whatever else there is out there. Yeah.
All that good stuff.
So we have a lot of very kind-hearted people that think they're doing the right thing by grabbing these kittens when their eyes aren't even open. When in fact, it's almost 100% likely that you just scared mom away and she's waiting for you to leave so she can go back and care for her kittens.
Oh, wow.
And then they get brought to us, which is no problem. Obviously, that's what we're there for. But kittens have the highest chance of survival when they're with their mother until 8 weeks of age. They need her nutrients. They need any vaccines she may have had. They need to grow their immunity from her. So it's very, very much a struggle this time of year. The kittens need to be fed every 4 hours. The kitten milk replacement is extremely expensive.
So there is a replacement anyway.
There is, yes. Yeah, we buy it in jars about this big that it's basically like infant formula. You mix with warm water, and we're bottle feeding every 4 hours, and staff is taking them home at night. So they're not getting their full night's sleep and rest and relaxation, and it's
so this
part of the year.
No sense asking what you're doing in your spare time.
No, yeah.
Wow, that's what a trip. I had no idea that kittens were that much of a challenge, and of course,
absolutely,
this is always a springtime dilemma, I imagine.
Yeah, this is our first big kitten push of the season. Mm-hmm. Last year, I feel like we had 3 kitten seasons in the summertime. So I'm hoping, since it's already June, that we'll just have 2, big kitten seasons this year.
Right. Now, and we're going to come back to that, but also when it comes to taking care of all of the little critters that come into the Humane Society, a big chunk of the funding to do that comes through their thrift store, the resale store down on Main Street. And Lucy, when it comes to I'm assuming, I know that with the Humane Society, in the spring we have a big glut of kittens. Is there something unusual that comes? Let me rephrase that.
Here we go.
Is there, not necessarily unusual, but is there an unusual uptick in the incidence rate of particular items this time of year? There's where it.
Heaters.
Yeah.
Everybody's bringing me their heaters.
And I bet they're not flying off the shelves either.
They're not.
Yeah.
And at the end of the winter, they'll bring us their fans.
Yeah,
their fans.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least you'll be set up for next week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So things kind of getting back to normal at the store as far as, now that it seems like, most of this COVID stuff has been relaxed in a lot of places, and people are, a little less concerned about the social distancing and things like that. Has that made a difference where you're at?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really been busy since
you haven't been able to do any social distancing.
We practice the social distancing, the masking.
Right.
Now we're not so much because it's been lifted, but we have been as busy as ever.
Wow.
I don't understand it, but
it's a good thing.
Well, yeah. It's a very good thing.
And that's both on the incoming and outgoing side of things.
Yes. We've been we get a ton of donations, and we've been very busy. We're very blessed. Our community loves us, and it shows.
Right.
And we love our community, so
There you go.
we couldn't do it without the donations. We wouldn't have a store, and we wouldn't be making money for the animals.
There's some synergy for you. I like that. Now, as far as the Humane Society, you talked about a not even a small uptick, but kind of a huge uptick in kitten activity. Does the same hold true with puppies as far as the dogs go? I mean, do you get much in the way of litters of puppies being brought in?
We do occasionally, not nearly as much as kittens though. I think just because the feral cats in town, I think really add a lot of our population when it comes to the kittens. Because even though they're born feral, if we can handle them at 8 weeks of age, once they're weaned from their mother, we can usually domesticate them at that age. So I think that's why we have such a larger intake of kittens this time of year, because you don't see too many feral dogs running around usually, and a lot of people in this town are really, really good about spay neuter, things like that. So it's definitely more of a kitten situation.
Now, is the sterilization of feral cats and people trying to acquire those for, if they've got, large areas of land and they're concerned about rodents, so you still have activity going in that area?
We don't really, unfortunately. There used to be a group called the Friends of Ferals, and they've since disbanded. And we, all our funding goes towards domesticated animals, so that's kind of an area in town that we would love for some organization to step in and try to step up with.
So there's no Friends of Ferals anymore?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Huh.
Yeah, not for quite a few years. So I don't know if maybe behind the scenes, but we get calls all the time. People want to know what to do. We do rent out live traps to people. They just put down a deposit, and as long as they bring the trap back, they get that back.
There you go.
And then I've heard there's a couple vets in town that do spay neuter of ferals for like $20.
Wow.
So yeah, there's still some stuff going on, but it's no longer funded. So I think we'll probably see less people participating if it has to come out of their own pocket, unfortunately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, any other types of critters into the Humane Society recently? I mean, no orangutans or anything like that?
Knock on wood, luckily no.
Okay. Well, that's a good
Just
thing.
our usual dogs and cats, luckily.
And roughly speaking, how many dogs do you have in the Humane Society right now?
I'd say there's probably about 70-ish dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, and
But that gets noisy at feeding time.
it does. Usually they're pretty good, especially a lot of the dogs we've had right now have been there for a while, unfortunately, so they're kind of used to the routine of everything.
Right.
They know that as soon as we all get in, it's time for a walk, then it's time for food, then it's time to go sunbathe in the yard, time to go play in the pools.
Well, it sounds like quite the life.
It definitely could be worse.
I think I'm going to go live at the Humane Society. That sounds like I'm hanging out at the pool, catch
I
some
know.
rays. And,
As long as
Get
you're
a belly
okay.
rub.
Yeah.
there you go. Ooh, now we're talking.
As long as you're okay sharing your pool with some dog drool and some dirt, then.
Oh, no, I'm not going to. One of the things that when we talk every month when you come in here that has always amazed me. First of all, I'm amazed that you have 70-some dogs in there right now.
It's a lot of dogs.
And you have room for how many if you maxed out?
If we maxed out, between setting up double kennels, because right now the dogs have a pretty large enclosure. If we had to, the kennels can be locked in the middle and create 2 kennels. Obviously, we prefer them to have the large amount of space, but it need be in case of emergency. I'd say we could easily fit probably 300 plus animals in our building, and then start using. We have crates. We have millions of crates if we ever need to evacuate, God forbid. And then also we have our mobile clinic that can fit many animals as well.
How's the mobile clinic thing been going?
Going good. They're using it this morning.
Yeah, is it? Right.
Yeah.
And where all do they go with that?
Unfortunately, since COVID, we haven't really traveled with it. We've just been focusing. We use it once a week for our shelter animals. That's where we perform surgery.
Right.
And then we use it for out of town adoption events. Whenever we leave Payson, we'll pack up as many animals as we can and head out. But I'm hoping that this summer we'll get back to using it again.
You just did one of those up in Pine here not long ago.
Yeah,
Pine
for St.
Strawberry?
Patrick's Day. Yeah, we were up there.
How did that go?
Really snowy. It was like a blizzard, but one of our very long time dogs found a good home, so we were happy with that.
That's a beautiful
So.
thing. Now, if people are thinking, hey, I might like to get myself a dog. Obviously, you got a lot to choose from,
Yes, we do.
and so regardless of, I would imagine, I'm sure with exceptions, but for the most part, regardless of what kind of breed you like, you probably have something close to it.
Probably. We don't have too many small dogs right now. Small dogs just get adopted so quickly. By the time we put them up for adoption, usually that same day they're walking out the door. But if you're looking for medium to large dogs, then yes, we probably have just about one of every color, size, personality.
We, for many years we had Chihuahuas, and we've had a lot of different dogs over the last 40 years, but it had a lot of Chihuahuas over the last couple of decades. And the last one just finally, I shouldn't say finally, the last one sadly passed away not long ago. And we have 2 border collies, and I'm kind of finding myself missing the little dogs, but not necessarily enough to go get one.
Yeah.
But there's something special about little pillow puppies that I got a soft spot in my heart for.
Aww.
It's all good stuff. So now, if someone is interested in maybe thinking about adopting a dog, what's the protocol? What do they have to do?
So honestly, I think the best way is just come down and see us. You can kind of explain to us, what you're looking for. We of course do have a website. It has their photos, their age, and a biography description about each animal. So you can totally start by looking there, see if anyone catches your eye, and if so, we ask that you come down and see us, and we can show you every single dog we have if you'd like. And we kind of start the process there.
And pretty much anybody's qualified to adopt a pet,
Absolutely.
unless you own an authentic Korean restaurant or something like that, perhaps. But sorry, I spent too much time over there. And the adoption fees are what again?
So animals 6 years of age or older are $50 adoption fee. Animals 7 months to 6 years are $100, and then any animal under 6 months is $150.
Oh, okay.
So and they're all spayed, neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, ready to go.
Speaking of microchips.
Yes.
You have a special
Good
thing?
segue, I like that. Okay,
But wait,
so
there's more.
yeah.
So you have a special event coming up.
We
If you want to get
do.
your, first of all, for people that are saying microchip, I don't even know where to plug the dog in at. So for people that don't know what we're talking about,
Yes.
these are little bitty microchips that are inserted under the skin, and you can, with a little reader, you can
Yes.
scan and find out where that dog is supposed to be.
Absolutely, we can find out which place implanted the microchip, whether it was a vet's office or a Humane Society. So even if people have been really bad about register or fixing their address, phone number, things like that, we can always go back and kind of start there and say, okay, who did you guys adopt this dog out to?
Right.
And so there's that little piece of grain of salt holds a whole lot of information for us. So we're on Thursday, June 17th, we're going to start doing $10 microchips that day.
So that's, 2 weeks from today?
2 weeks from today, yep. So
That's a great price.
Payson General Store has been kind enough. They're sponsoring this event for us. So they've basically put up the money to cover the additional cost of a microchip because we want to get as many animals microchipped on that Thursday as possible.
Right.
It's just $10, and that includes lifetime enrollment for the microchip company. We register everything for you. You literally just come. We implant it. It's the size smaller than a grain of rice.
It's just a shot.
It's nothing. Yeah. It's
They do this with a syringe.
yeah. Half the time the animal does not even know it occurred.
Wow.
And then basically for the rest of their lives, if they ever get picked up, brought to a vet clinic, brought to a Humane Society, animal control officers start to carry the readers in their vehicles now. They scan your dog or your cat, and they immediately can look it up and get it back to you.
Do they always put these in the same place? On all
Usually between the shoulder blades.
dogs? Between the shoulder blades.
Yep, in that nice little fatty area so they can't feel anything.
Saves a lot of lives.
So many one-liners. So little. Now, as far as the Humane Society Thrift Store down on Main Street, first of all, what are the hours?
Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Okay.
Donation hours are 9 to 3, Monday through Friday.
Okay, so you can come by anytime between 9 and 3, Monday through Friday.
Correct.
And
Saturday, we used to take donations on Saturday, but it's more of a catch-up selling day. So we want to, focus more on our customers because we get a lot of out-of-towners. So we don't take them on Saturday because of that.
and if you've been running a low-grade fever and have the chills, they have a lot of heaters available.
A lot.
Now, so what are some of the other things that you have an overabundance of right now? Or maybe some things that you're like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I have a good bit of furniture right now. For whatever reason, I had 8 couches. That's the most I've had since I've been doing this.
Wow.
So I don't know, if everybody's just getting new couches, just don't want to be in the house anymore.
Right.
But that's fine. We sell them. I get a little bit of everything.
Right. So if you're looking for furniture for any room in the house, you probably have it. And
Yes.
also probably things like lamps and all
I
the
get a ton of
accessory
lamps.
items.
Yes. We get a lot of lamps, picture frames.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, it's
Solid
nobody really
gold
does.
Rolex watches.
Sometimes.
Really? You actually get some good stuff, huh?
We do get some nice jewelry. We get a lot of nice everything. We really do.
And I was going towards this earlier, and it's time to circle back, Annie. I was always amazed that when you talk about the amount of money that it takes to run the Humane Society, refresh my memory. I know that I'm still suffering from whiplash from last time you told me this, but the monthly and annual on that is typically
$60,000 a month.
a month.
A month. Yep.
Yowzers. And that's, I mean, you got a facility to take care of. You've got
A very large one,
yeah,
yes.
and there's obviously you've got some paid employees and some volunteers.
Yes.
And then just to care for the animals and the food and that just the food ticket itself each month has got to be pretty significant.
It's enormous, yeah.
Yeah.
We estimate for dogs it's 60 cents a day per dog. So times that, times 70, times 30 for the month. So yeah, our food bills, our electric bills, trying to keep that building of that size cool for the animals
Right.
in the summer, and then obviously warm enough in the winter. Workers' comp, insurance, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely not an easy.
And it seems like I remember you saying too that when all this, the COVID hysteria was going on, that it presented, I know, for a number of the different nonprofits in Rim Country, presented a challenge to them as far as volunteers. And you still had some pretty staunch,
Absolutely.
devoted volunteers, but are things picking up a little bit more now?
They are, yeah. We're starting to do our volunteer orientations again. Just for a while, we didn't think it was appropriate to, bring 10 people that we've barely met before off the street and have them, go get together in a small confined area and walk around the kennels, meet the dogs, things like that. But we've now started doing that again. The weather's better, obviously. We're about to be hot again, but so we're starting to do that again.
I think it's a cool thing because you can come down, volunteer to take dogs for a walk and enjoy a little walk with the dog, get out in the fresh air and do all of that and bring it back and leave the dog with you.
Yeah, it's like grandkids or something, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. There's no mess, there's no, whining and complaining later on, it's all good.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Kind of like a dog rental.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's like a rent-a-dog.
Now, and as far as the thrift store, then you have volunteers that help out tremendously there
Yes. We are mainly ran by volunteers.
as well, right?
There's myself, and then I have 3 part-time employees, but the rest are all volunteers. We have finally been we've had some volunteers that, stepped away during the whole COVID. I have a few of them that have come back. I have a few new ones.
Cool.
So it's picking back up. Everybody's kind of ready to get out.
Right, right. And I imagine
So-
that's probably made a difference on the traffic of people coming in and looking at all the stuff you have
yes.
for sale too. Then.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Our volunteers, and I say this every month, we need our volunteers.
Because
Very
you actually
important to
move
us.
a lot of merchandise there.
We move a lot of merchandise.
Roughly on a monthly basis, what kind of revenue are you generating down there for the Humane Society?
Lately about 20.
20 grand.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's huge.
That's really huge.
That's huge.
That's a lot of couches.
That's a lot of couches. That's a lot of lamps. And,
And it's got to be interesting. And we've talked before about the fact that sometimes people come and drop off multiple boxes, and maybe there's things in there that you can't hang on to, and
yes.
stuff like that. But boy, everything that's brought in, I'm sure is greatly appreciated. And
Yes.
as I've mentioned before, I would much rather bring a whole load of stuff down to the Humane Society thrift store and drop off for you to sell and make money for the Humane Society than to ever consider having a yard sale.
Putting in all that work for
I love going to other
$50.
people's yard sales. I do not like having a yard
Having
sale.
one.
No,
Royal
it's
pain in
terrible.
the neck, yeah.
It's terrible.
Are there certain things that when people are coming in to buy stuff that they're looking for that you kind of run low on at times that you wish you had more of?
Dog stuff.
Dog stuff.
Actually,
You're talking about,
we
like,
get a
leashes
lot of
and-
dog stuff, but especially with us being the Humane Society, we have a nice big area of dog and cat stuff. We're very blessed to get, PetSmart donates like their discontinued items to us. They take them to the shelter takes what they need, and then they bring the rest to us to, sell. And it's huge.
Wow.
That's one of our main things that we sell a lot of. We sell, it's amazing the stuff we sell.
Yeah.
I every day I'm like, it just amazes me.
You know,
You know, then you get a lot of out-of-towners that come in, you know, we have our boutique area, which is the higher price, you know, items. And that stuff may sit for a little while, but then you get the out-of-towners that come up and, you know, they buy a little bit of everything. So it's, you know, sometimes stuff sits for a minute, but it'll eventually go.
Well, you know how the out-of-towners are. You know.
Yeah.
It's just nice to get out of Phoenix once in a while. Now, you two would be the logical ones to ask. I mentioned the border collies that we have at home. This young 11-month-old pup we have loved this dog. This dog lives to fetch a ball. Very attentive. She wants nothing more than to please.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about getting her some working dog training. Other stuff I've done in the past with search and rescue. But one of the things with her, when it comes to balls to play catch with, rubber frisbees, all this dog will dismantle anything if allowed to just sit with it for a little bit. We've got really heavy rope stuff that we thought, Godzilla couldn't handle this. The dog will annihilate it. Is there any like indestructible dog toy out there?
I've heard really good things about Kongs.
Kong, yeah.
But I mean, I've still heard of dogs that could still get through it. And then they have like, what's that called? Like Super Chewer Bark Box or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a Super Chewer. It's like a monthly subscription box I've heard about too.
Oh, so they just send you a new box of stuff every month?
Yeah. Which I'm
So
like,
obviously it's not working.
I know, like that's what kind of, I'm like, why do you need a monthly
I'm still hung up on this Kong. What is this? I mean, this isn't like
King Kong?
it isn't like a little plastic King Kong or anything. I mean,
No, it's called Kong is the company with a K.
Okay.
Yeah, they sell them at PetSmart actually.
Huh.
Yeah,
And they
may
used to
have
just
them
have
all.
like those little tube things that you'd like stuff peanut butter
Right.
or a treat in, but now they
Yeah.
have like a whole
Everything.
product line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You may want to look at those.
Come to think of it, I think we have some little red thing that you're supposed to stick stuff inside of. I think, if I remember right. I think that's still sitting out in the yard and it's still in one piece. So you might be on
There
this.
you
There's
go.
Kong.
Learn something new every day when you talk to the folks from the Humane Society. Now, if people want to find out more about maybe adopting a pet or getting involved with this microchip thing that's coming up 2 weeks from today, I'm assuming they need to sign up for that in advance.
Actually, no. The microchips we're going to do from 10 to 3, first come, first served.
2 weeks from today.
Yes, 2 weeks from today on June 17th. We're actually putting the flyer up it's on our Facebook already. We'll throw it up on our website here this morning as well.
$10.
$10.
And as you know, if your dog is an escape
Well worth
artist,
it.
and if you've had dogs, I mean, we've all had an escape artist dog at one point. And if you had one of those, I mean, this could be, the thing that gets you reunited again. So-
Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention too, I mean, obviously we don't have this problem as much, but you hear these horror stories down in bigger cities where people can steal an animal right out of the yard. And, if you have that animal microchipped with your information, that's gonna, really limit them as to what they can do as far as proving ownership of said animal.
Crazy stuff. As a matter of fact, on a somewhat related note this morning on Facebook, I saw a very humorous post that I had to share, that somebody had bought a brand new big, widescreen TV, and they had taken it out of the box and they set it up in their house and they put their old TV in the box and put it out on their front porch where they've had problems with porch fires.
No.
Their security camera shows some guy walking off with this box, brand new TV, and he's thinking he's all, got the big deal. And he's going to come home to a piece of junk TV that doesn't work anymore.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
Maybe you'll teach them a lesson.
there you go. Karma, baby. Anyway, thanks again for being with us, Annie and Lucy from the Humane Society of Central Arizona. If people want to find out more, where do they call?
928-474-5590. We can direct you also to the resale store.
Okay. And the resale store, again, is open Monday through
Saturday,
Saturday. Right.
9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
But don't bring stuff to drop off after 3.
After 3 o'clock.
Right.
I may come out growling.
And you don't even want to know what that's like. So anyway, we appreciate you coming in, ladies. Thank you very much for all the good work that
Thanks
you do.
for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in and listening this morning to Community Spotlight on KRIM. Got a lot of great music coming your way from the Dave Matthews Band, Moody Blues, Melanie, the Gap Band, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at Rim Country weather. This would be a good time for me to turn the volume back up. Oops. Bye.